Alright, you guys, today we're going to show you how to start the engine. I'm going to use my checklist because the checklist is going to tell me how to start my engine. I don't want to leave anything off of the checklist because I need it. I don't want to make any mistakes here. Following the checklist is very important. It tells us all the steps that we need to do to successfully start the engine. Alright, first things first, make sure we have our seats, our seat belts on. Seat's good, it is. Fuel shutoff valve is down here. It's this knob right here. I'm going to make sure that it's pushed in. All I have to do is push it in, and basically it just tells us that we have fuel coming through the valve and it's coming down to the engine. We'll make sure our fuel shutoff selector valve is on both, which it is not, and it's this valve right here. All we do is turn it right until it clicks on the both, just like that. All right, next we're going to make sure the avionics master switch is off. It's this switch right here. This is white switch right here, and this is the off position. This controls all our electronics. All right. Brakes. The brakes are the top of the pedals. I don't know if you can see them or not, but they're the top of the pedals right here, making sure that they're getting some type of response and that they're working, which they are. All right, what's next on the checklist? The circuit breakers. The circuit breakers are these things right here with the numbers on them. Want to make sure that they're not popped. If they are popped, then that means one of our electronics or equipment might be damaged or messed up. We don't want that happening now, do we? All right, now we're going to turn our beacon on. The beacon is this right here. It's just a light that we need when the aircraft is on and operating. All right, now how you work it is just flip it up and down, just like that. The beacon is on. Mixture, full rich. This is mixture is basically how we put fuel into the engine. What we do is we push it all the way in because we want fuel into our engine so we can start the plane, right? You know our engine likes fuel, just like your car. All right, throttle full open. Throttle controls how fast or what the engine speed or the propeller speed is, and we're pushing that all the way in, just like that. All right, now we're going to prime the engine. We're going to put fuel from a fuel pump into the engine. The fuel pump switch is right here, so we're going to first on the master switch. Don't forget that, so we can actually use the fuel pump. The master switch is this red thing. All it did was flip into the on position. On position. All right. To turn the fuel pump on, we're going to flip the switch just like I did the beacon. Wait till it gets to 5 up here, and then turn it off. Or I can do 1001, 1002, 1003, and that helps me successfully prime the engine or get enough mixture or fuel into the engine so we can do an engine startup. All right, next on the checklist, leaning out the mixture. This is lean out when you pull it all the way out. I'm pulling back the throttle as well, and I'm opening it 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch is the distance from my finger to this circle. And once it hits the circle, I'm stopping, putting the throttle in. I'm giving myself a little throttle inside so I can actually start the engine and have some type of engine speed once I crank it. Because if I have it all the way out, then the engine won't start. In other terms, or the engine will be too low to start, at too low of RPM to start. All right. So next on the list is propeller clear. I'm gonna yell clear prop. I'm gonna yell clear prop so everybody that's around me knows I'm about to start my engine, and they need to stay clear of the prop so they don't get hit. I don't want some kid or yourself, and for example, running out and then getting hit by the propeller and killing themselves. So that's why I have to yell clear prop. Clear prop! All right, for safety reasons. Now I'm going to start the engine. So I'm going to use this key right here to start the engine. I'm going to put it in the ignition switch, which is this thing right here. Put it in there. I'm going to go from the off to the start position, and the propeller will start spinning. And once it spins and it catches, just like a lawnmower, once it catches like a lawnmower, we'll go mixture full rich so we can add fuel to the engine. All right. So I'm going from alt to start. As the engine catches, I'm putting mixture full rich. So I'm pulling it in, or pushing it in. I'm pushing it in, and I'm cranking the key from the left all the way to the right. All right. Make sure you have your feet on the brakes because we don't want to you know, run off as soon as we start the engine. That's why we need to have our feet on the brakes to keep the plane from running from us. All right. Let's see. All right, and that's how you successfully start the engine. 1 2 3 1 2 3 testing. All right, so that's pretty much it, you guys, to start the engine, which is it. As soon as you start the engine, you want to make sure you adjust the power to 1,000 RPM, because we don't want to be blasting our rocks, anything on people or in front of us. And that's one of the reasons why we yell clear prop. So as we start the engine, it doesn't hit the rocks that the propeller picks up, doesn't hit anybody, or like I said earlier, or you get hit by the propeller. All right, so we're checking 1,000 RPM because we don't want to go too fast while we're on the ground. That's brakes we have to use. All right, next we're looking at the oil pressure, making sure it's in the green. Basically, just make sure our engine meeting requirements or limitations set out by the manufacturer. All right, we're going to lean our mixture out. Lean the mixture out is just pushing this button right here and pulling it out. Or you can rotate it out, whatever you want to do. Normally, I like to use 2 fingers to properly lean out fuel. All right, so we have our throttle, our oil pressure rechecked, our flaps are up. We're looking left and right. These are our flaps. I'll put them down for you to show you what they look like. The flaps are right there. They're coming down right now. That's what the flaps are. And we use those for landing sometimes for takeoff. All right, the flaps are up, or they're actually down, but we need to pull them back up. This is the electronic switch. All we're doing is moving the switch up and down. We're just making sure that the flaps are up, and now they are. All right, we're going to listen to the weather.
0. All right, Church Buckshire, contact clearance delivering 18.3. Advise on initial contact, give information echo. Montgomery Tower information echo 1653 Zulu, wind 120 at 7, visibility 10, few clouds at 2,800, 3,300 scattered, ceiling 5,000 broken, temperature 28, dew point 20, altimeter 3017. Runway 10 visual approach news, you're arriving departure towards the raised cable located approximately 7,500 feet.
All right, so basically all I did with you guys was check the weather, make sure everything's clear. How many clouds and stuff were out there? Was it sunny, or is it cloudy, or is it rainy, or is it thunderstorming? Stuff like that. What runway they were using? Basically, I just checked the weather for that, and I know the weather is good, and that's what that gave me right there. Now I'm going to contact ground and tell them that I want a taxi to the active runway so I can take off. Are you ready? Hope so. Montgomery Ground, Cessna 173, Mike Echo.
Cessna 173, Mike Echo, Montgomery Ground.
Montgomery Ground, Cessna 173, Mike Echo. Going to the west practice area, negative radar with information echo, ready to taxi to 10, request Alpha 3. Alpha 4, 3 Mike Echo.
Cessna 3 Mike Echo, runway 10 at Alpha 4, taxi via Alpha.
10, Alpha 4, 3 Mike Echo. Alright, so now in order to taxi, what I'm going to do is let my feet off the brakes, add a little power, like this, and bring the power back out. The power is this black knob that I'm in. Now I'm using the left and right pedals to turn the airplane. It's kind of counterintuitive. Normally you're used to using this, the steering wheel to turn, but no, not on the ground. We use our pedals to turn the airplane on the ground. So, of course, that's going to take practice, and I want to tell you that now so you already know. So when you hop in an airplane for yourself, you don't start turning the airplane like this. That's not how you turn the airplane on the ground. I don't want people looking at you because you're not attaching to a wall or another airplane, for example. All right, so right now, I'm just visually looking outside, making sure I'm staying clear of any aircraft or any people, obstacles, any cones or anything like that. I'm using my pedals, the bottom of my pedals here, to turn the airplane. I'm not using the top. Remember, the top of the brakes.
Shooter
Brakes causes us to stop. We don't want that.
Clear to November Sierra Echo S filed on departure, calling maintain 3,000, expect 9,010 minutes. Departure frequency 124.0, squawk 35 at 65.
All right, so basically what he just said was, we don't need to worry about it. It doesn't apply to us. He was just giving another guy clearance to come and land at our airport.
wasn't talking to me, talking to somebody else. All right. So I'm still using my rudders here. My rudders are the pedals.
Shooter 233, read back correct.
Using these pedals here, the bottom of these pedals, because remember the top of the brakes, to turn the airplane. All right, once I come to a turn up here, I like to actually use a little braking along with the pedal. So I like to use a little right top pedal to turn so I can stop and I can turn more accurately. Remember, brakes or these pedals are literally independent. So if I stop with my left, I'm going to go left. If I stop with my right, I'm going to go right. So you have to use, if you want to brake in a straight line distance, you have to use both braking or both feet on the top of the pedals. All right. All right, so I'm going to take this stuff up here. I'm going to use that left top of the brake or top of the pedal. Turn the airplane. Notice the whole time I've been manipulating the power here. Manipulating the power, using the power, I've been pushing it in and out based on how fast I want to go. If I want to go fast, I'm going to go full power. But we don't do that on the ground. We normally just have 1,000 RPM, right? All right. So how I used this instrument was I was just manipulating the throttle, so pushing it in, pushing it out to go fast or to go slower. Normally we like to be at 1-0, right? 1,000 RPM when we're passing. All right, that's all I looked at when I was on the ground. That's all I looked at. For right now. All right, before takeoff, we do have a before takeoff checklist.
Shooter 233, Montgomery ground, runway 10, taxi via Alpha. 10 via Alpha.
All right, so parking brake is set. Doors, windows, and my feet on the brake, so they're set. Doors, windows are closed and latched, so this window's latched. That door is shut. This window's latched. This door is shut. All right, that's done. Flight control. So if you look outside to the left, you can see that aileron is pointed up. If you look at to the right, you can see that aileron is pointed down. The aileron is the wing. This is what causes us to turn left and right. So if I want to turn left, I'm going to turn left this way. Like I'm going to have the yoke like this or the steering wheel like this. All right. If I want to go up in the air or if I want to climb, I'm going to pull the yoke back. If I want to do a climbing left turn, I'm going to do just like this. All right. Making sure my elevator is pointed back there is like that. Pointed up. The elevator is the wing back there. All right. Now I'm going to turn right. So that aileron should be up, or that wing should be up. That wing should be down, or that aileron should be down, which it is. All right. Now they should be level. They should be equal with each other, which they are. I want to go down. I want to pitch down. I'm going to go full yoke forward. My elevator back there should be pointed down, which it is. Now my rudders are the vertical tail. So that means if I use left rudder or left pedal, my rudder is going to be pointed to the left. If I use right rudder or right pedal, my rudder should be pointed to the right, which it is, as you can see back there. All right, so the flight controls are good. Press and bug. All right, so this is the airspeed indicator. We'll use this for takeoff.
Aircraft, Montgomery Tower information, Foxtrot, Snow Ground, altimeter 3015.
All right, so this is our airspeed indicator, and we're going to be using this for takeoff. We want to rotate, or we want to pitch the airplane up, or we want to go up in the air. We want to climb up. We want to rotate 55 knots. We don't want to go any slower than that because we might not get off the runway. We might not have enough or enough lift on our wings to get off the runway. So we don't want to go 65 or 70 because then we might take up too much runway and we might not make to the end of the runway. So it's very important to know when your rotations are when you pull back on the yoke. All right. All right. This is our attitude indicator. We're just looking at it and make sure it's basically telling us what our airplane is doing right now. We'll use that later in the air. I'll show you how. This is the altimeter. This is how I gauge how high I am in the air. I'll tell you how I use that a little later. Turn coordinator basically tells me if my turns are coordinated. So that means if I'm making good turns or bad turns and stuff like that. Like when you're in a car and you try to drift. It's going to be a good drift, you know. This is a head indicator. I'm making sure that it's matched up with my magnetic compass right here. This tells me what direction I'm flying to. All right. All right. So mixture. I'm pull it back all the way to the front. Just because I want to check my engine, make sure everything's good. All right. Going trim set for takeoff. I want to set my trim for takeoff so I don't have to use so much pressure on the yoke. This helps alleviate that pressure. Alright, throttle, I'm going to 1800 RPM, so I'm going to push the throttle in until I get to 8, which is that dash mark right there. Make sure I have my feet on the brakes. Now, I'm going to check my magnetos, which are the workhorse of my engine. They're kind of like spark plugs in a way. Alright, or they would give power to the spark plugs. Alright, so I'm going to the left magneto. Noticing a drop on the attack meter. Alright. Going to both again, so I'm going one click back to the right. Now I'm going to right, which is 2 clicks to the left. Checking that right magneto. Alright, notice the drop, and it's good. I'm going back to both. So magnetos, the right magneto controls half of the engine, the other magneto controls the other half. I'm just checking the engine, making sure it's up to par according to the manufacturer's limitations set out by them. Now I'm checking the enunciator panel. This is my warning system. So let's say if I have a flat tire or anything like that, or low pressure or low vacuum, it's going to show me right here. It says low fuel. If I have low fuel, let me know. I want to make sure that's working, of course, as well. Alright. I'm going to pull the throttle back to idle to make sure my engine doesn't cut off as I pull it to idle, which it doesn't. Idle is basically pulling it all the way out. I want to make sure that I pull it all the way out, that the engine doesn't cut off, because if I do that in the air, I don't want my engine cutting off on me and we drop out of the sky. I don't want that. You want that? Hope not. Trying to scare me, man. Alright, so everything was good. We checked our instruments and everything like that. Oil pressure was over there was good, or temperature was good, or vacuum was good. Everything was in the green. Alright, now I'm going to talk the tower and let them know I'm ready for takeoff. So, to talk the tower, what I'm going to do is switch this to COM 1, and this is the tower frequency right here, as it says right here. In order to talk to them, I have to use the mic button on the yoke to talk to them. This is a push-to-talk button. So you have to push this button, and then you say what you want to them. On your yoke or your steering wheel, it's this button. This one right here. That one right there. Alright, so I'm going to tell Tower I'm ready for takeoff. Are you ready for takeoff?
Adam 22 here. Adam 22, roger.
Montgomery Tower says the 173, Mike Echo is ready for takeoff at Alpha 4.
This is the 173, Mike Echo, Montgomery Tower. Hold short of runway 10 at Alpha 4, traffic landing.
10, hold short, Alpha 4, 3 Mike Echo. Alright, so remember, when we take off today, the reason why we couldn't take off right there, because we have those fighters coming in right now, coming in to land. We can't take off when they're about to land themselves. Alright, we want to be safe out here. We don't want to get crashed. Alright, so when we take off today, I'll be looking at airspeed indicator. I want to make sure that I rotate at 55. This little dash mark right here. Alright, so I'm just waiting for the tower guys up there in that tower right there to give me clearance so I can take off.
Adam 21, flight turn left at the end, taxi to DRM via Alpha.
Adam 21 left at the end of the DRM.
This 3 Mike Echo, wind 180 at 5, runway 10 at Alpha 4, clear for takeoff, enter a left downwind departure.
10, Alpha 4, clear for takeoff, left downwind departure, 3 Mike Echo.